So, what happens when a picture-perfect political campaign is actually built on a foundation of deadly secrets? Today, we are diving deep into the chilling thriller, The Haunting of the Morgan Estate. It's a story where ambition, family, and murder all collide in the most terrifying way.
Our story kicks off right at the peak of success. You've got congressional candidate Eli Morgan, this charismatic, rising star, and his absolutely brilliant campaign manager, Megan. They've run a completely flawless campaign, and really, they're right on the verge of having it all. But, as you're about to see, the higher you climb, the further there is to fall.
Because underneath all that polished success, something really dark is just waiting to get out. See, the Morgan family's power, it's built on a whole lot of secrets. And as we're about to find out, some of those secrets are definitely worth killing for. All right, so let's start with that picture-perfect campaign. On one side, you have Eli Morgan, the golden boy, the candidate who seems destined for greatness. And on the other, there's Megan, the super sharp strategist who's pretty much the architect of his entire success. Together, they look completely unstoppable.
To celebrate what looks like an inevitable win, Eli whisks Megan away to his remote family estate. It's supposed to be this romantic escape, a break from all the chaos of the campaign. But out there in the deep woods, surrounded by a silent lake, that isolation starts to feel less like a retreat and a lot more like a trap.
And yep, it's right here, in the heart of the Morgan estate, that the whole facade just begins to shatter. What starts as a celebration quickly turns sour as Megan starts pulling at the threads of a secret that house has kept buried for years.
The first clue pops up in a dusty old photo album, a face she's never seen before, Ethan, Eli's younger brother. Now, when she asks about him, Eli's discomfort is, well, it's immediate. He just brushes Ethan off as the family's black sheep, but Megan knows. She knows she's just stumbled onto the first secret in a house that's probably full of them.
That suspicion leads her up to the attic, and that's where she finds something that changes absolutely everything. A faded, old missing persons ad. All of a sudden, this mystery has a name. Who was Sarah Mandel, and what in the world is her connection to the Morgan family?
Well, the answer is pretty chilling. Sarah Mandel was Ethan's girlfriend, and she vanished almost 10 years ago. The last person to see her, Ethan Morgan. After that, the case just went cold. You have to wonder, right? Why would the disappearance of a girl connected to such a prominent family just go away?
Now, Megan is a sharp campaign strategist. Her instinct is always to investigate. She just can't shake this feeling that something is deeply, deeply wrong. So she starts digging into this cold case, determined to give a voice to the woman this powerful family seemingly tried to erase. And as Megan starts to piece this timeline together, the story gets even darker. Turns out Sarah wasn't just Ethan's girlfriend. She was pregnant when she vanished. And again, the last person to see her alive was Ethan. After that, nothing. The trail goes completely cold. Megan manages to track down one of Sarah's old friends, who paints this really damning picture of Ethan. He was manipulative, possibly abusive, and was just racked with guilt after she disappeared. But then, the friend adds this one chilling detail that changes the entire investigation. He wasn't working alone. As Megan gets closer and closer to the truth, she gets a chilling warning from Jake, the estate's quiet, mysterious caretaker. He knows she's digging around, and his words pretty much confirm she is on a very, very dangerous path.
Okay, so this brings us to the story's horrifying climax. Just as Megan is putting all the pieces together, a sudden tragedy forces the final, terrible truth to come out into the light.
So this is the story the world knows, right? Eli, the golden son, the family's bright future. And then there's Ethan, the troubled black sheep, the family's liability. It's a very carefully crafted narrative, one designed to protect the family's image at all costs.
And then, bam, a total bombshell. Ethan, the main suspect in Sarah's disappearance, is found dead. The official report is calling it a suicide, which is, well, it's a very convenient end to the family's biggest scandal. But for Megan, it's all just a little too perfect. With Ethan gone, Megan confronts Eli directly. She asks him the one question that just shatters his carefully constructed lies. If Sarah was pregnant with your brother's kid, why did you care so much? And in that one moment, you can just see the entire facade crumble. And there it is, the confession that changes everything. The baby wasn't Ethan's, it was Eli's. It was the result of a secret affair that would have completely destroyed his political career before it even got started.
And then the full horror just dawns on Meghan. Ethan's death? It wasn't a suicide at all. To cover up one murder, Eli committed another, silencing the only other person who knew the truth about what really happened to Sarah.
And then he just lays it all out. The full, chilling confession. He killed Sarah to hide the affair, and then he killed his own brother, Ethan, calling him a liability and saying his murder was a mercy. All of it just to protect the family name and his own political ambitions.
So what happens next? I mean, what happens when a dynasty that's built on such horrifying secrets finally collapses under the weight of the truth?
Well, the fallout is immediate, and it is devastating. Eli's confession gets exposed, and the whole Morgan dynasty comes crashing down. But out of the ashes of all their lies, Meghan emerges. She survived, she brought the truth to light, and now she has a chance to build a new legacy, one that's actually based on integrity.
In the end, the story of the Morgan estate leaves us with a really powerful question. How far would you go to protect your own ambition? And when a legacy is built on lies, what is the true cost of digging up the truth?